Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I've got a great episode. Welcome. My name is Abby Ritchie. I am the founder of Senior Savvy, and I'm so thrilled that you're here today because if you're an Android lover, you're in the right place. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and we can hop right into it. Now, if this is your first time joining me, I'm so glad that you're here today. It is my honor and my privilege to serve you and to teach you the tech skills that you need to excel in today's world. Now, as I get this queued up, if you're wondering if you're in the right place today, well, do you have an Android? And did it come with a manual? No, usually our modern devices don't come with a manual, which is why I truly focus on teaching you the basics. Now, an Android device, they are all a little bit different from make and model. You may have a Google Pixel, you may have a Samsung Galaxy, you may have a Fire Kindle, and they're all a little bit different. But what I'm going to attempt to do today is to explain some of the commonalities, okay, and share those with you. Hello, this is Abby. Hi, my name is Abby Ritchie. I am the founder and CEO of Senior Savvy, which relieves tech stress for older adults so they can excel in today's world. I am so glad that you joined me today. I have an excellent workshop just for you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so we can hop right into it. Now, if you're wondering if this workshop is for you, well, do you have an Android device? That could be a Google Pixel, it could be a Fire tablet, it could be a Samsung Galaxy. Okay, so the Android platform comes in many different makes and models. And what I'm going to attempt to do today is break down some of the commonalities across all Android devices and help you understand your device better. You see, it is my goal to teach you the basics because none of our modern devices come with a manual these days, do they? No. And so it's truly my goal to break it down, to get back to basics, because I know that when you have a basic understanding of your technology, you feel empowered and confident to continue learning. And that's what we're going to do here today. Well, first, I'm going to give you an overview of your device. I'm also going to talk about the various models, a little bit about Google, about using some of the Google applications like Map and Chrome, and we'll talk about the Google Assistant and the Play Store. Now, I'm also going to share some of my favorite apps with you and some of my favorite tips and tricks. If you're wondering where that word Android came from, Android is an operating system that's designed for mobile devices. And Google, yes, Google purchased Android in 2003. It has a very different look and feel than Apple. And actually, you can customize your Android devices so much more than you can customize Apple devices. Google has the Chrome browser, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And it also has Maps, which comes in handy all the time. It has a very sophisticated search engine. And then there's the Google Drive for storing all of your files. Now, you're probably going to hear me use the word app a couple of times today. And what I want to do is I want to explain that app is an abbreviation for application. And the reason we call it app is because they are software programs that have been designed to use on our mobile devices. And that's what an app is. I'm sorry no one ever explained it to you before. Now, in order to get apps and customize your device, every Android user needs to have a Google account. And the Google account is like your driver's license on your Android devices. You gotta have it. The Google account gives you access to Gmail and the Play Store, which is where you're gonna go to get your apps. It also backs up everything. So in case you lose your device or you run over it with your car, you can get everything from the backup. Now I want to explain a couple of the features on your screen. And number one, up there at the top, it's so small, but I really want you to see it and see it well, because this is your status bar. And up here, it's sort of like your dashboard, okay, on your car. And I want you to be able to peek up there regularly to see what's happening under the hood, all right? Because it will tell you how much battery you have, if you've received any new phone calls and or missed them. It's also going to give you your phone status. So it's jam-packed with information like your dashboard. And you're going to want to keep your eye up there regularly. Number two, now this is where you'll see those notifications, new things, new applications that are notifying you of some new activity. Number three, this is your phone status. How's your battery? Do you have cellular? How many bars do you have? Are you on Wi-Fi? All of these options and features are going to be up here at the top in your phone status. Number four, these are the app icons. Some are pre-installed on your device and some you're going to get from the Google Play Store. Number five, this is your wallpaper. And I want you to think about this. Take a peek at your Android device right now and tell me, is your wallpaper creating some visual issues for you? Is it making the rest of your apps kind of disappear and fade into the wallpaper? Because if it is, you've got to change that. You need to be able to see the apps on your home screen easily. Number six, down here, this is your favorites tray. And this is where you're going to put your most regularly, frequently used apps. Now that's going to be different than the way they came pre-installed from Google, right? So I want you to think about, what apps should I put in my favorites tray? Here's another device diagram, this one of a Samsung Galaxy. And remember, like I said earlier, all Android devices are going to be a little different based on the make and the model. So don't sweat it if yours doesn't look exactly like this. I just want to point out, the button on the side, it's called the side button. Woohoo! That's not very clever, but that's the official name of it. And I know you want to know what those buttons are called, right? Now you have a front-facing camera that faces you when you're looking at your phone, and there's also a rear-facing camera on the back. And then down there at the bottom, that is your speaker. So make sure you don't keep your hand over that while you're talking to your daughter. Here's a little bit about navigation. It's going to vary from Android device to Android device. But number one, this is where you're going to start that swipe up navigation action. Number two, typically this stands for the back button. Go back. Where were you last? Number three, this is the home button. And number four, this is recent, where you may have been recently. And you may want to do that, especially if you are, for instance, in your email, and then you want to go check your calendar, and then you want to go back to that recently opened email. You're going to want to tap the recents to show you where you last were. When you swipe your finger down from the top, it's just a quick little swipe, drag down from the top, you get access to your quick settings. And there is a chock full of wealth right here that I want to show you. So being able to master that drag down from the top is going to be really handy. Number one, you can adjust the volume here. Number two, you can see if you are or are not on Wi-Fi. Number 3 is Bluetooth. Now, number 4, I want to bring this to your attention because you may accidentally put yourself into a do not disturb mode. And I want to make sure you know how to get yourself out of a do not disturb mode. A lot of times when I'm working with you, and you may tell me, oh, well, I'm not getting my messages, I'm not getting phone calls, I don't know why. Often it's because you've accidentally tapped do not disturb, and no wonder you're not getting any calls. Number 5 is access to your flashlight. Number 6, now this is auto rotate. So our devices have the ability to go from a landscape mode to a portrait mode. But a lot of people dislike this flip-flopping around. If you want to lock it in place so that it's always in the vertical portrait mode, you're going to want to select that option. And there is also an airplane mode, as well as more settings down there in that teeny tiny little gear. So if you need to get to more of your settings, that's where you'll go. Now I want to say a quick word about your font size. A lot of times I see you all looking at your phones like this, or you've got to put your glasses on. And I want to show you that you can go into your settings, into display, and crank up that font size, okay? This way you can see everything that's on your phone without needing your glasses. This is your phone, by the way. I want it to be a reflection of your needs, not your daughter's needs, but your needs. So make the necessary adjustments. You can also make some adjustments to your home screen by putting less on there, thereby making it easier to see. So for instance, you can change the grid ratio from 5 to 6, it's 5 apps across, to 5 to 5. It'll just make them a little bit bigger. And I want to teach you how to delete and remove apps that you're no longer using, both to protect your privacy and for your security and to save on storage. Many reasons. But here's why. A lot of our devices come pre-installed with bundled apps, a bunch of them, maybe 50 of them, and perhaps 40 of them we may never use. Well, when you want to get rid of them, what you do is a long press on the app. And from there, that gives you a small menu where you can uninstall, meaning delete. You can edit it, which is rearranging the furniture and move it to a place that's more convenient for you, or you can get some information about the app. So when you want to uninstall and delete an app, do a long press and then select uninstall. You don't need to have it on there. If you do, if it's absolutely a must, it will not allow you to uninstall it, okay? Remember, this is your device. Now I want to draw your attention to something that's so valuable and something that's going to serve you for years and years and years, and that is the Google Assistant. Within all of our Android devices, there is a built-in assistant. And this assistant is going to help you use your device hands-free. It's going to help you write text messages faster than you can type them with one finger. It's going to help you make phone calls, and you know what? It's going to serve you for the rest of your life. That's right, because as we age, our eyesight diminishes, the dexterity in our fingers decreases, and you can continue communicating and connecting with family and friends when you're using this assistant. So lean into it. It's on every single one of your Android devices. It may not look that way, but I also want you to know that this Google Assistant has the same sophisticated search abilities both on your device as well as on the internet as a Google search. They're all owned by the same company, right? So please keep that in mind and start using your assistant today. When you want to customize your device, you're going to want to go to the Google Play Store. And when I go to the Play Store, I always go with a clear intention in mind, meaning I don't go to window shop. I go in knowing what it is I want to find, because there's so much in there that truly has no interest. So when I go in, I search for what it is I'm looking for. Next, I like to read the reviews. I like to see if it's well reviewed. And then I want you to tap install. and that will then put it on your device. Now, speaking of your device, here's something I want you to keep in mind. I want you to protect your trusty device. I want you to protect your investment by putting a good case on it, preferably one that's colorful with bumpers along the outside. It has a really good stand. I hate it when I'm working with a client and their stand keeps flopping down and they curse their stand, then they put it back up and then it flops down. So please save yourself the frustration, get a stand with ridges in it so it props it up for you. And if you find yourself using it all the time and typing, you can get a case with an external keyboard, which is going to make your life so much easier. Now, there is a setting within Android devices. It's called Easy Mode. It may be in your display because it changes the display. It may be in the accessibility settings. You'll have to look for Easy Mode, and everything will just be a lot bigger for you. Well, are you learning something so far? I'm glad. And we're going to start talking about some of my favorite notable apps. The first one is a heart rate monitor. Yes, you can download a heart rate monitor. This way you will always have one with you. You can put your finger on the flash on your camera and it will take your heart rate. You can even send those results to your doctor. Another app that I love and one that's been a game changer is Adobe Scan. Now, this is a free app, and what it does is it allows you to use your camera as a scanner. Yes, it's genius. In fact, there's another app very similar. It's called Scan Genius. Genius because you no longer are tethered to your printer when you need to scan or fax something. You can use an app to take a picture. It transfers it into a PDF for you, and you can email it to your doctor, to your attorney. So this just makes things 100 times easier. I wish I would have invented it myself, but I'm really glad it's out there. Another one you may want to find, you may want to download, especially if you sometimes lose your device. I know you do sometimes. It's an app, it's called Find My Phone, and it will put GPS tracking on all of your devices. Now, did you love those ideas? I'm glad, because now I've got some really neat tips and tricks. The first one is in your Messages app, you can pin, that's right, pin your most favorite people up to the top, all right? And this way you can have quick and easy access to them when you want to send them a text message. Additionally, you can schedule a message to be sent on a certain day. So if you're thinking, my niece's birthday, it's on Saturday. You don't want to send her a happy birthday message right now, but it would be great if I could schedule it to go on Saturday. You can do this. The option is in your text messages. And all of our devices these days have built-in QR readers. So when you want to do a QR code, you can go ahead, open up your device, open the camera app, and hold it up to that QR code. It will most often take you directly to the page that they want you to be looking at. One other thing I want to talk about is app notifications. So a lot of times when I'm working with people, they'll say, oh, it's so annoying, these pop-ups, they keep popping up telling me about every Facebook photo or every new news story. It's so distracting. Well, those pop-ups, they're called app notifications, and they can be very distracting. You can go into your settings, go into notifications, and toggle off the ones you don't want to be disturbed by. I'd say, there are about 50 apps on there. Maybe I have about 5 that I want to receive notifications from. My phone, messages, email, and Uber. Of course, I want to be notified if Uber's outside, right? Now, on any page on the internet, you can ask the Google Assistant to read something to you. You say, okay, Google, read this page. And there is a really neat search lens. It's called Google Lens. in your Android device. And you can download this from the App Store. It looks like a little camera. And if you're trying to remember the name of something and you can't, maybe it's your neighbor's plant, maybe you're trying to find a pair of shoes, you don't know what the brand is, you can hold this lens and point it to what it is you're trying to find, and it will find it for you. It's really clever. Did you learn something new? I sure do hope so. Well, if you have more questions, if you need help, here are a couple resources I want to share with you. One is support.google.com. You'll be able to get answers to some of your Android questions. Another one is android.com. There are updates about the newest features there. And finally, androidcentral.com has a lot of the latest information. Well, we are at the end of this workshop, and I do hope that you've learned a lot and I've sparked a lot of ideas for how you can customize your device. If you ever want to find more, go ahead and find me on Facebook as well as on my YouTube channel. And I am so thankful that you met me today. I'm so thankful that you continue to show up and learn. And it is my honor to serve you. Have a wonderful day.